Hello everyone, in this video we are going to discuss about the best efficiency point of centrifugal pump. This video is very important if you are a chemical engineer, mechanical engineer, instrumentation engineer, process engineer and you are going for an interview, or if you work in an industry, or if you are in DCS, or if you are work in a EPC, EPCM, PCM companies, right? So what is the best efficiency point for centrifugal pump that we are going to discuss in this video? See, for every centrifugal pump size, and this best efficiency point context comes only when we talk about the centrifugal pump. Okay, it doesn't come into the picture when we talk about the positive displacement pump. Please understand that. Fine. Now, for every centrifugal pump size, there is an optimum head. Okay, I hope you know about the head, okay, which is denoted by the H, and the flow is flow rate, okay, flow point where a pump is most efficient. What is the meaning of that? It means that whenever we talk about the any centrifugal pump size, okay, there is an optimum head, there will be one optimum head with respect to that flow rate where your pump will give the most efficient and your pump will work most efficient, okay, and that point is called the best efficiency point. If you will see in this picture, here you can see this is your best efficiency point. This point is your best efficiency point. Why? Because at this flow rate, that is Q, okay, and this is the head, right? So at this point, if you see, this is your optimum flow rate, okay, and this is your optimum or the maximum head, you can say. So when you will draw like that and like that, so it will intersect here, and this is called the best efficiency point, okay, and it is recommended that the pump should be operate near or at the best efficiency point for the better operation, for most efficient operation, right? Now here you can see at this point at 100 meter means your head, and the flow is 165 cubic meter per hour. The pump is optimized to attain its best efficiency. I hope you understood the point what I want to say. Okay, fine. Now if I talk about the any machine, okay, because pump is also a machine, okay, mechanical machine or mechanical device, so each machine has some efficiency, right? And we cannot achieve the 100% efficiency, that's we know. Same for the pump case, pumps are not 100% efficient, okay. And if I talk about the centrifugal pump, so centrifugal pump converts kinetic energy into the pressure energy, right? So when the kinetic energy converts into the pressure energy, some amount of the kinetic energy is lost before it convert into the pressure energy, right? Okay, now there will be the one question in your mind that what are these losses? So mainly these losses are your internal losses or external loss, right? So do you want to know about these losses? Yes. Okay, so we will discuss about these losses. First of all, there is first loss, that is internal loss, okay. So what is the example of the internal loss? When we say internal loss, so it is related to the internal of the pump of centrifugal pump, we can say, like your impeller, casing and all that, okay. So the first example of the internal loss include hydraulic loss, okay, which comes through friction from the impeller, because impeller is a rotating part, right? The second loss could be the loss due to changes in flow direction. Obviously in a pump the flow direction changes, and as well as the velocity also change, so that will be also one loss. Why? Because see, when you will change the direction, obviously there will be some loss, okay, that we have already studied in the fluid mechanics. The third loss is volumetric loss. Volumetric loss means your flow, okay, from internal recirculation, due to wearings and pushings, okay. Then there will be the external loss. What is the external loss? So mainly the external loss is usually your mechanical in nature, okay, due to friction in seals and bearings, okay, that is not internally. Okay, internal means within the casing and impeller. Okay, I hope you understood this point which I want to say. Now, how we get that BEP? How we get that BEP when you are a process engineer or rotary engineer? So mainly what happens that a pump should be operate near its best efficiency point, and this point is provided by the pump manufacturer. When you prepare the PDS, then that PDS is becomes the MDS or the EDS by the rotary engineer. Then it goes to the procurement department and you get the technical offer. And when you will check that technical offer, so pump manufacturer provide the pump curve, okay, and in that pump curve there is the best efficiency point is mentioned, because what they do, they continually, if I talk about the pump manufacturer, they continually develop the design for the pump to achieve the maximum efficiency. Okay, so that's why that best efficiency point comes into the picture. And pumps can be operated at the other points as well. Okay, obviously it is not that pump will always operate like at the best efficiency point or the nearby the best efficiency point, but when it will operate at other points, means like you can say beyond the best efficiency point or below the best efficiency point, so what will happen? Obviously your efficiency will be low. Got it my point what I want to say? Now if you have any doubt in this point or in this term, that is best efficiency point, please let me in the comments box. I will tell you more about that best efficiency point. Okay, so that's all for the today's video. I hope you understood this topic in a well manner. If you have any doubt, please let me in the comments box. Also please tell us that which topic we could cover in our YouTube video. Okay, so that's all for the today's video. Thanks for watching. Till then, keep learning.